Hello, welcome everybody. Thank you all for joining us today to learn more about our product roadmap and the new features we have coming out here at IdeaScale. First, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Lara Lewick. I am the Vice President of Customer Experience here at IdeaScale. So if you're not as familiar with IdeaScale, here's a slide that is just a bit of an overview about our company. IdeaScale was founded in 2009. We are headquartered in San Francisco and Washington, D.C. We are a FedRAMP certified platform, and we've been empowering innovation and leading companies and organizations for over 14 years now. Some my personal favorite platform stats: we currently have over 40,000 active communities, over 3.6 million campaigns with over 4.5 million users, and so far over 900,000 ideas have been submitted. Next, some stats about our awesome support team. We have a 96.55 average of customer satisfaction. We have a 17-second medium first response time and a 29-minute and 38 seconds medium time to close the support ticket. And lastly, here's just a little snapshot of some of our great clients. Now, next, to get into what we will be discussing today, we are going to kick things off with an overview and demo of IdeaScale whiteboarding. Next, we will have a demo of our AI image creator tool and the campaign and funnel search functionality. And lastly, we will be jumping into our planning for the second half of the year and looking in 2024. So I'm going to pass it off to Paul, who is our in-house expert on IdeaScale whiteboarding. Take it away, Paul.
Thank you, Laura, for the great introduction. I'm really excited to be here and talk more about our new product, IdeaScale Whiteboard. It's going to be a really fun time explaining all the ins and outs of it, and I hope that you all find this helpful. I think we all think IdeaScale Whiteboard can have a really positive impact on the innovation process, and so I'm excited for you to see that firsthand. To provide some context before I get into the demo section, I want to say IdeaScale Whiteboard is an intuitive online whiteboard that enables real-time collaboration for teams looking to create new solutions or impact their innovation process. Online whiteboards are very versatile tools that help engage a number of different use cases, and also in those use cases integrate real-time collaboration and visual collaboration into the brainstorming problem-solving process that you're using it for. I want to quickly touch on visual collaboration specifically and what that offers to teams, because it can't be understated how important that is for individuals and teams as we work through some of these use cases. Being able to provide a visual element to collaboration and brainstorming is really important for people. We've probably all seen infographics or statistics about how impactful visual thinking can be and visual collaboration can be, visualization can be for people. Here are some stats that help express that. 65% of people retain visual information more effectively than text. This essentially shows that when people say they're visual learners, they really do process that information better a majority of the time, and it makes it easier for them to retain information and learn new information. The next statistic here is visuals can improve learning up to 400%. It's really important for learning new information for a lot of people that it is displayed in a visual format. It's a lot easier for people to grasp ideas like that, make connections like that, find patterns in information like that, and it can have a really big impact on the way they view things and what they do with that. Because the better understanding they have of a certain element, the more they're going to be able to use it to craft something great. These statistics generally kind of point to the pattern I've been talking about, which visual elements can be a catalyst, the catalyst for success and progress in brainstorming, collaboration, but also in innovation itself. Rather than just relying on textual elements, adding visuals can increase the learning potential for people, for entire teams as well, and can move things forward in a way that people haven't done before. So just coming from that lens, I want us to think about the demo from that perspective and how these visual elements can impact what we're doing. Speaking of the use cases, I was just talking about online whiteboards. I said earlier, they're very versatile, customizable tools. Some of the use cases that people use them for could be ideation or brainstorming, analysis, idea refinement, prioritization, diagramming of ideas. You could mix those use cases together to create something custom that you could facilitate on the board. You don't have to be isolated to a single use case. You can actually customize it to meet your specific needs. If you do want to engage in a more specific use case, we have about 15 pre-made templates that you can use right out of the gate. These could be creating a business model. They could be prioritizing ideas on a matrix. They could be evaluating strengths and weaknesses of a given solution or a campaign problem statement. There are some easy ways to engage in these pre-made templates that are helpful for people wanting to just kickstart a session. And then from there, you can customize it to meet any unique needs you might have. So now that we have a little bit of an understanding of what online whiteboards are, how they're used, the use cases they're for, I'm going to open up the product section of the demo here, and I'll share my screen with you so that you can see it as well. Okay, here we are. So this is IdeaScale Whiteboard. This is the dashboard that you'll be seeing. From here, you and your team will be able to access all of the boards available to a given community or campaign. You can use folders on the left side to make the dashboard a little more approachable. This will help organize the board so you don't have a cluttered dashboard that is daunting and you can't find anything. You'll easily be able to find that in folders on the left. These boards I have here are pre-made, and so it's easy to look at them and understand how they work. If you go up into the top right, you can create your own board. And so if I come up here, we can see this template library I was talking about. You can access any of these and just use them right out of the gate. We have example scenarios already built into all of them. This might help gain understanding on a template that you haven't used before, but you can also just create a blank board if you'd like to create your own custom session or just experiment a little on board. I'll create one of these right now for us. I'm going to rename this product webinar just so we know what we're talking about. And this is now the board interface for IdeaScale Whiteboard. There are a couple of key features that I'm going to point out. We try to keep it very simple here, but I'm going to go ahead and go through some of the basics that can help you interact on this whiteboard. The first one I'm going to show you is sticky notes. If you click this icon and click on the board, you can place a note. From here, you can write on the board. You can write anything you want in here. You can use this. This is going to be the main platform of interaction on the whiteboard. You can go into the sidebar for all the elements. You're going to edit it from the sidebar. You can edit the color. You can edit the size. If you have custom elements that you want to duplicate easily, you can use this duplicate button. Kind of makes putting new information on the board easier sometimes and recreating it. And so this is going to be the main method of interaction on the board, how you add text, how you interact with people, how you complete the structures and the exercises that you're doing is mainly going to be through sticky notes. A really important piece to online whiteboarding is structure and organization. The next couple of tools I show you are the shapes. You can go and create shapes. You can create a bunch of different shapes, as you can see here. And these are helpful structural elements. They can help organize the board. They can help section it off and can be important when we get into diagramming later. You can write in these as well. You can type text into these elements. Again, like I said earlier, the sidebar is going to be where you edit this stuff. You can change the color. You can change the outline. You can duplicate it. And it's a really customizable way that you can interact with the board. As a structural element, though, shapes aren't the most helpful thing. They're visually, you can see it there. They can attach things on the board, but they're not materially connected to it in any way. You see the note and the shape aren't connected. We remedy that by creating groups. If you click this button here, drag to create a group. It looks very much like a shape, but it's going to have a unique title. All groups can have titles. And from here, instead of being just visually connected, you actually have a material connection with the notes on the board. So you can see I can drag this around and the notes stay attached. When you're conducting exercises, you want to make the board as approachable and as simple for possible so that people can effectively use it, right? And this is a way that you can make the structures a little more approachable. And all of the pre-made templates that we made, we try to build them out mainly with groups so that people can use them effectively. They can understand what kind of information fits in what group, and then it's actually attached like that. And if you want to export information from this board into like an Excel file, for example, groups are a very helpful element to organize that data so you can potentially use it elsewhere as well. So now that we understand how to structure things on the board, I want to talk about another really helpful use case of IdeaScale Whiteboard, which is diagramming. You can see that when you click a shape or a note or a group or any element really, when you click here, you can see that it has 4 blue dots that come up on the outside. If you drag this to another element, it then creates a note that attaches those elements. So I can do this multiple times. You can click and you can edit these lines in the sidebar. You can change the type of line that it is. You can change the weight or the endpoints of it. And so this is hopefully a way that you can create unique diagrams that can facilitate a flow of information or a process that you're trying to build out. I'm not going to go too deep into all of the features here because, like I've said before, it's really something that you can put your own stamp on. We just want to give people the tools to create something that is helpful for them. We hope that the pre-made templates can facilitate that well, but also the simple style of interaction should be able to facilitate that as well. The combination of these features that I just show you can really create custom environments and help facilitate collaboration. Like I said, there are more features that you can explore, like a free drawing tool. There are other stuff that you can use. You can upload images and files. You can move around the board. You can export information. You can share it with other people. If you want to learn a little bit more about all of this stuff, you can come up in this help menu. You can see a quick guide. This is going to show you a brief explanation of all of the stuff and more that we talked about. You can also take a personalized tutorial that's going to walk you through the basics of how to interact on the board itself. Moving away from the board interface, there's another really meaningful impact that we think we can have with visual collaboration that is unique to IdeaScale Whiteboard. One of the things we wanted to emphasize with this tool is making ideas and collaboration actionable. It's really important that you not only feel like you're doing something on the board, but it actually relates to actions you're taking in real life and actions that you can take to move projects forward. That's really important all the time, but especially with remote and online work environments, it's really easy to lose momentum or stall on ideas. And this issue led us to create the IdeaScale Whiteboard task management system. I have some example scenarios built out here, and I'm going to go through again the basics of how to use this tool. So from what you can see, the task manager is accessible in the dashboard. It's also accessible from each board. So you'll always have an easy route to seeing and editing your tasks. It's available in a card view like this is a very common way to experience tasks for people. And it's also editable in a list view. So whichever way is more convenient, you can edit and do like this. I'm going to show you what it looks like to create a task first. So if you come up here or if you click here, you can create new tasks. This is like the quick way to create one. I'm going to go and show you all of the details that goes into it. So from here, you can see that you can create new tasks with a bunch of different variables that go into them. You can write a title. I'm going to do write a new task. And from here, you can select the board that it's attached to. I'm going to select the one that we just made. You can assign it to someone or leave it unassigned. You can write a description, add subtasks, comments. You can add attachments, so files or images or anything here can be attached as reference to your task. You can select a due date, and you can select a pre-assigned status to these tasks. Once I create this, you can see that my task updated in the task view, and in the card view particularly, we tried to make it really easy to move items around and shift statuses. And so now that I can see that these columns reflect the status of the tasks. So if I move this task that is in progress to this next column, I can see that the status updates to whatever this column says. I refer to them as columns because they aren't strictly accessible as status. You can actually change these to the other essential elements. So if I want to group by board instead of status, I can see this board has 4 tasks, this one has 3, this one has 3. Within those columns, you can then sort by, I want to see the most important tasks, the most, if I do due date, I can see I want to see what tasks are due soonest to latest. So you can sort in these columns to just provide different ways to view your tasks and information that should make it easier to, create action based off of them. To take that one step further, we have these filters. So if I want to, the task manager is applicable across all boards in a community. So you can see all of the tasks or as few of the tasks as you want based on these filters. So if I want to filter by a specific board and a specific status and a specific person, and I could choose a due date or not, I can then apply those filters, and I'm going to see only the specific boards that meet that criteria. And so this is hopefully a way for people to not only create and manage tasks, but create unique views to prioritize what they need to get done now, what they need to get done later, who is doing what, and just having a dedicated place to put all of that within the product makes it so much easier for people to have action on their mind as they're conducting these sessions and really take meaningful impact from them. I'm going to take a step back quickly from the demo section. Those are the main pieces of information we wanted to add and talk about regarding IdeaScale Whiteboard. I want to quickly bring up that one of the core pieces of inspiration that drives IdeaScale forward is the idea that innovation is done by a crowd, and it comes from a group of people, not just an individual. And so we kept that in mind building IdeaScale Whiteboard, and we understand that bringing communities together to collaborate is one of the most effective drivers of innovation. And IdeaScale Whiteboard is a furtherance of that application. It's a furtherance of that idea. Being able to create shared boards, collaborate in real time, doesn't only help your understanding of projects or your team, but it actually makes the innovation you're doing more actionable. And it brings everyone in the community, it gives them more ownership on what they're doing, and it takes them closer to creating and moving new ideas forward. Especially with the lens of what we were talking about earlier with visual learning, I think in the future, visual collaboration could help take the innovation potential of IdeaScale to another level, allowing teams to collaborate and innovate in a seamless workflow. We have a lot of really exciting ideas on how this can be applied in the future. And so I appreciate everyone taking some time to learn a little bit more about IdeaScale Whiteboard. That concludes the demo section for this product. I want to quickly add, if you are interested in using IdeaScale Whiteboard, I have good news for you. You can go to the IdeaScale website and navigate to the product dropdown. From there, you're going to be able to use IdeaScale Whiteboard completely for free until the end of September. And you can access it, you can play around with it, you can test it out, you can understand how that tool will better impact your workflow, and you still have free access to that now. So yeah, appreciate everyone listening. I'm going to go over and hand it over to Brian to talk a little bit more about other IdeaScale updates.
Awesome. Hey, thanks, Paul. That was awesome. Really cool demo. Hey everyone. So I want to talk a little bit about a few updates that came out fairly recently. At the core of our platform is the ability to run campaigns, to engage members, and encourage innovation. But behind every incredible campaign is an even more incredible administrator creating and launching these campaigns. So I'm not sure how many people here are admins, but creating and launching a campaign is definitely a time investment. It requires a lot of preparation, precision, and attention to detail throughout the whole building process. So what we want to do is we want to continue to increase the efficiency for campaign creation and also hopefully alleviate some of the workload for admins. So in order to do that, we integrated our AI assist feature, similar to the one that's on the idea submission form, but within the campaign builder. So today I want to demonstrate one aspect of that campaign builder where the tool is particularly useful, which is inserting the campaign logo and the campaign featured image. So I will share my screen here. Awesome. So first, I'm going to open up one of my campaigns. Open up this one. Safe and tasty meal recipes for puppies. If you scroll down on campaign builder to the campaign logo and campaign featured image section, you'll see this button. It says, help me create an image with AI. So what this button does, it uses the title of your campaign as the initial prompt by which it'll generate 3 images for you. So if I click the button, it'll auto start generating. Beautiful photos. So in case you want to be more specific with an image or look for something different, you could always prompt it again. So for example, let's do golden retriever puppy looking longingly at food. Oh man, I typed that wrong. Apologies. Let's see. Wow, awesome. Even with typos, works really well. So from here, you could select an image. I really like this one. Let's choose that. And then you could also crop it according to the sizing on our platform. So let me crop it like that. Save. And there you go. That is your campaign feature image. So once again, you could prompt it accordingly. You could specify more details of the lighting you want in a photo, etc. But hopefully that makes it a little easier, quicker, but still gives you the quality of images that you'd want to associate with that campaign. All right. So then after that, you'd save, and then you'd be good to go for that. So next, I want to talk about 2 additional features that we that went out a couple weeks ago that helps admins stay organized. So the first one is the campaign search bar. So I don't know if you noticed this, but this is the search bar that's on the manage campaign section. So these, you could search by keywords across all your campaigns that are active or listed. For this community, I only have 3 campaigns set, but if I typed in cat, because I have cats in any part of the title or description, it'll show. But you could also specify what column you want to search in. So for example, if I choose campaign description and I search for cat again, it'll only show this cat tree analysis campaign because that's where you see that word cat. And if you want to go back, you just search blank and then it'll show you all the campaigns you have. This is super useful for admins who are running hundreds of campaigns at once and need a quick way to search through them. Hopefully that eases some of that burden. Similarly, we actually integrated the same search bar in the funnel management section. So we know that a lot of our clients, they have hundreds of funnels to search through. And oftentimes it was a lot of command find, scrolling up and down, looking for the right one. Similarly, we added a search bar here. So you could type in product, isolate it to that one, or summer vacation. And that's all it'll work. Awesome. So those were the few product updates that came out recently, and I'll pass it over back to Laura.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian and Paul, for those great demos about some of the new and exciting features and tools that we're releasing here at IdeaScale. So looking forward on what the next few months are going to look like at IdeaScale, we want to highlight a few different features that are currently in development and in the planning stages. So first, we're going to talk about a version 2 of whiteboarding, and I'll let Paul talk about this one since he is the expert.
Thanks, Laura. So exciting stuff with moving Whiteboard forward. Like I said, you can access it today for the free trial version, but we're building out the phase 2, the V2 of Whiteboard. This is going to be separate from the IdeaScale core product still, but it's going to use elements of your community and settings that will merge into the existing Whiteboard product to make it accessible and usable for your communities, for your campaigns, and will allow you to access boards based on those permissions. So exciting stuff building out V2, and it should be fairly similar functionally to V1, but with some extended permissions and accessibility for your communities.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul. For another exciting redesign we have coming out is our top bar navigation. So we are redesigning this feature to transform your experience and your user's experience. The goal is to make the navigation across our platform more intuitive and efficient. It's really about simplifying your journey and saving you and your users time. The next one is a personal profile redesign. So this redesign has a focus on improved navigation, clean UI, and task completion. So we're looking to optimize some of the various aspects that are currently part of the profile page and ensure you can swiftly access all the different information to carry out tasks with ease. Grid navigation. So you might be familiar with this if you've seen the 9 dots on different various other apps. We are taking a similar approach, and we are consolidating a few different areas of our platform within a navigation grid to ease users' navigation. So this enhancement is about simplifying your interaction with the IdeaScale platform. So next, with the planning stages, I again will let Paul take it away with the whiteboard integration that I'm personally very excited about.
Yeah, I think we're all very excited about it, Laura. This is one of the really cool parts about working in an innovation company is we're always trying to move things forward, and we're kind of at the very beginning of exploring what a fully integrated whiteboard solution looks like. So that's fully integrated into the IdeaScale core product. As we move forward, we're going to provide more updates on this in the coming months. There are some really exciting possibilities here, and we're really looking forward to sharing more details on that. So very early in the planning stages, but we're still moving forward with it.
Great, thank you again, Paul. Next, the new membership management and groups user experience and UI. So for our admins out there, we know that managing members and groups is efficient and is crucial for your innovation process. So we are revamping this area of our platform with the goal to make it easier to handle membership and groups seamlessly. This improved UI is going to offer intuitive controls, clean layout, and it's simple, and with the goal of simplifying complex tasks and enabling the admins to navigate effortlessly through the different groups and memberships. And lastly, the campaign creation workflow. This is another one that is one of my favorites to see our product and our dev team work on. I think it's really going to be a game changer, and it is going to streamline the workflow for campaign creation. The goal of this feature is to empower you to achieve more in less time. So those are just some of our really exciting new features that we are working at for IdeaScale. If you have any great ideas about things we can do to enhance and improve your experience with our tool, we would love to hear from you. Please share your ideas with us. If you go to ideas.ideascale.com, you can submit that feedback directly to our awesome product team, Brian and Paul, and they will look at it. And it's a great community with high engagement from our clients. You can see what other people are looking to do and what's important to them. To learn about more of the great webinars and live events we have, if you go to IdeaScale.com, there is under resources, there's an event tab, and you can see everything that is up and coming with IdeaScale. You can also look at our past events. We do upload all these recordings on YouTube, so you can watch them all there. So we actually do have some time for Q&A. I know some people have been posting questions in the chat. Thank you for that. And I'll jump into some questions. So first, this one would be for Brian. Is the AI image creator free, and how can we activate it? We have some members saying they can't currently see that option on their community.
Awesome, thanks. So the AI image creation feature is defaultly turned off. To activate it, please feel free to reach out to your sales or CSM, customer success manager. From there, once it's activated, you will have your first 100 image requests for free, and then there'll be a pricing model set after that, which you'll have to discuss with your CSM as well.
Perfect. Thank you, Brian. Another, I don't think this is actually one that came out of the QA, but a very frequent question we get about the whiteboarding tool is, how do the tasks and the boards interact? So Paul, can you jump into that?
Yeah, of course. This is a question we get a lot about how tasks and boards interact. And I think it's a really interesting one because it kind of discusses some of the core functionality that we're hoping to put forward. Right now, you can add existing tasks to a board to help visualize them. So if you're working on a board on your workflow, and you can then add existing tasks to that board. We're thinking about what the reverse process looks like as well. So pushing notes and pushing contributions out as tasks. That's something we're hoping to explore in the future. But right now you can add tasks to a board and look at them there for additional context on your collaboration.
Perfect. Thank you, Paul. And another question for you is, where can I sign up for the IdeaScale whiteboarding trial?
Yeah, this is a good question. So the IdeaScale whiteboard trial, like I said earlier, is still accessible, and you can do it from the IdeaScale website. Actually, if you go to the IdeaScale website, there is a product dropdown. From there, you'll see IdeaScale whiteboard. That will take you to a page where you can learn a little bit more about whiteboard, and you can also register or sign in. Again, that's free and is easily accessible for now. So we're looking forward to getting more people in there and getting some feedback on the product. And if you have any difficulties with anything, again, reach out to your CSM, reach out to the support staff, and we can help with that.
Perfect. And how long does that trial last again, Paul?
Thanks for reminding me. It's going to go till the end of September around. We should have a final date pretty soon, but I would just mark it as the end of September for the free trial. You can use it up until then. You'll see a disclaimer when you sign up, but the data that you put on IdeaScale Whiteboard for the free trial is just temporary. It's really just to use with your team and to experiment with. And then once we move past the end of September, it's going to turn into more of like the permanent access model, subscription model. And we'll have more updates for that to come.
Great. Thank you, Paul. And another question we commonly get, and Brian, this one would be for you. Where can I find information about these new features that are coming out with IdeaScale?
Yeah. There's 3 main ways. First, you could always check the new features icon. So if you click on your profile icon on the top right of our interface and then scroll down to new features, it has like a cake icon. You click that, we update that as often as we can. And then also help.ideascale.com or ideascale.com. On that, there's like a nice product updates section, which we update as regularly as we can as well. And the third one would be from your CSM. We try to update them as quickly as possible for anything coming up, and they are the best at relaying that information. So that's probably almost the fastest way.
Perfect. Thank you. And again, if you want to just have a great feature idea and you want to discuss it with someone, I would either recommend you reaching out to your CSM directly and setting up a call to chat with them about what your ideas are for the platform. You can also, again, submit them directly to ideas.ideascale.com. That is where our awesome product team they check those ideas, they review them, we discuss them internally. You know, we drink our own champagne here at IdeaScale, so we would love for you to submit your ideas on that. Let me just double check to see if there's any other questions. It looks like we're good. Okay, well, again, thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us and learn a little bit more about the new features and tools that we're releasing here at IdeaScale. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.